Hi, Virgo. Welcome to your 2023 yearly breakdown. And what we're going to do on this is go over the chart for New Year's Day as it applies with Virgo on the horizon. So this is for Virgo Sun, Rising, Moon, Venus, Mars, and Saturn. We're going to go over the chart and it's going to align to your Virgo rising. So that brings us to around 9:24 p.m. today, which is the day I'm recording it, January 1st. But what this does is it takes a photograph, basically an astrological photograph of the moment in time of the new year. And that creates like a birth chart for the year, showing us influences for your particular sign. Okay, so in your first house here, you can see there's nothing in the house of self, but that doesn't mean that nothing's going on for you. Of course, you have sun or other planets in that house, which means that's your main focus for ego and sense of self, how you project yourself to other people. Ceres, the asteroid, is in Libra currently, and that starts out the year being more aware of diet. And because it's Libra, it brings in the energy of other people. So it's about balance. Are you having a diet that's well balanced? Do you want to share your knowledge of what is healthy and good for your body with another person? And then also, it can mean that you want to create kind of a healthy diet with that other person. So, like cooking, definitely the second house, which is naturally the Taurus house, rules cooking and getting your diet, getting your food together. So it could be an area that you spend the year really enhancing, and especially in Libra season, which is late September, early October. Scorpio in the third house is the energy of communications. And currently the South Node is there opposite the North Node in Taurus. South Node is really where we look at past lives and what we feel comfortable bringing into this current life. You have a South Node in your chart. So wherever that is, you'll feel that same energy of kind of a natural at home sensation of that particular house in that particular sign. But the South Node in Scorpio is about value and is what we're saying of value to other people. And so you'll spend the year really evaluating what your words are saying and what kind of expression you're giving out. Scorpio is very passionate and deep feeling. So you may feel that at times you're not really getting your point across because it feels like the value isn't there at times. During Scorpio season, which is late October to early November, you're going to really have this house highlighted. And anytime there's an opposition, which is Taurus sign, Taurus planets, and a square, which is Leo and Aquarius, you will have a trigger to the house of communication. This is also the house of small pets or animals, neighbors and siblings, and also technology and transportation. I'm bringing all these up because even if I don't mention it, whenever I mention Leo or Aquarius, which this year is very strong in Aquarius energy, you're going to feel a hit to communications as well. Okay, moving on to Sagittarius. That is your house of home and family. And so whenever Sagittarius is triggered, and currently there are no planets in Sagittarius, we just went through that part of the year, which is the end of the year from late November through early December. That energy is more about travel, socializing, and being optimistic. It's playful energy. It is the energy of athleticism and taking hikes, doing things with the legs, because the legs are ruled by Sagittarius. So in your natural day-to-day life, if you go for walks, you will feel very good about that. Your body will feel more grounded and you'll feel more optimistic overall. It is about playing with family members. So, maybe at the holidays, you end up doing a quick pickup football game or enjoy soccer. Soccer is a really good sport for Sagittarius influenced energy. And also walking or hiking, rollerblading, skating, that kind of thing. Anything with the legs, getting them moving. Moving on to Capricorn. Your fifth house is ruled by Capricorn. And currently, we have a lot of energy in Capricorn. This particular chart shows Sun and an energy of Vulcan, which is Vulcan isn't really a planet that's been discovered yet. It's actually more of an idea of a planet. There is an anomaly right near Mercury that is assigned to the energy of Vulcan, an undiscovered planet. And so it has assigned energy that is very similar to the Mr. Spock energy, who is from Vulcan on Star Trek, but it isn't actually a planet. I don't really interpret that currently, but this new program I have puts it up there. It's the little V with a line through it. If you see that right between the sun and Mercury on this chart. So if you're wondering and you're a Virgo, you're probably wondering that's what that is. But Sun, Mercury, Pluto, and Venus are in Capricorn with Mercury retrograde currently. This means you have a lot of energy starting the year out with groundedness, the desire to be forthright, follow the rules, have a structure in your life, and look to where the systems and structures fall. And in your chart, they fall into romance, creativity, and children. And so you're really shoring up what attitudes you have around systems and hierarchy, patriarchy. It is bosses, and you may be your own boss. If you are, then you're kind of redesigning and restructuring what you want to do about that kind of environment. It is the subconscious to your house of work. And so that would mean that you're reviewing how your structure of the workplace is subconsciously, or even bringing it out into the conscious and trying to understand the dynamic that will help you work better in your work environment. This year, we see, well, in the near future, in the Aquarius season, Sun and Mercury, Pluto, and Venus will all have moved on. Venus may be into Pisces by the time the Aquarian season really happens, but she starts out the Aquarius season because she goes into Aquarius tomorrow, which is January 2nd. And so she's going to really explore the idea of autonomy and self motivation, self actualization. She'll be the first energy, and she represents money and love. She also represents desire and growing things. So when she goes into your sixth house, it's going to be about experiencing more of the autonomy associated with the workplace, because the sixth house is the workplace and work environment. So currently with Mercury retrograde, we are reviewing the structures of things, and there was an energy over the last few days, right before the new year, where Venus and Mercury joined up next to Pluto. And Pluto is a major life change coming in. Whether it moves into a new sign, which it will this year, or is still just in one sign, whatever it's triggering in your chart at late degrees currently this year, which it will trigger between 28 and 29 degrees of Capricorn, that is a theme for your major life change, because Pluto at the end degrees of Capricorn represents letting go of the need to oversee everybody else's energy. So in this case, Virgo, it falls into your house of children. I am a Virgo, so my experience with this is really letting my children go and not feeling that I have to parent them as much anymore. They're in their early 20s. And so it's really kind of a awakening moment in my life, and I can share with you, of allowing them to be in their own adulthood. And I no longer have to feel responsible for what they do and what consequences they have from their actions, and know that I love them and I'm able to release that storyline. So that could be one of the storylines you're also experiencing with this energy. But because it is n degrees of Pluto, we have gone through all the back and forth about what ownership we have. And it's also ownership in romance, and maybe always feeling like you're the one who's the engine and the motivator in the relationship, and taking ownership for the dynamic of the relationship. It's time to let go of that. Leadership, always feeling like you have to be the one in authority, you have to be the one at the center of whatever's going on. You don't have to be at the center. You can be pulled back, you can let it go, you can release. And so that is a really strong theme for this year. I want to share that with you because you're experiencing it even more so right at the beginning of the year and as a theme, because there is a quincunx energy, or 150 degrees to Mars in Gemini. And Mars in Gemini is at 8 degrees retrograde. And so when Mercury gets back to 8 degrees, about, I think it gets even to 5 degrees if I'm not mistaken, but right around 8 degrees, which is where Gemini Mars is now, that's going to be a triggering of a release around an idea around a duality. And you may find that there is some kind of structure going on where there are two storylines and they fall into your house of career. And that means that there are two pathways to take, maybe more, because it is multiple energies. The air signs all recognize multiple choices or dual choices within the theme of their particular agenda. So Libra can bring in three of anything. So it tends to triangulate with the fulcrum of a balanced scale system, which is the symbol for Libra. So when you have Libra, you may find there's a triangle going on in marriage or partnership. Gemini is duality, it's the twins. So there are two of something. And then Aquarius is multiplicity, the last air sign of the zodiac. And multiplicity means many choices. So as we see the progression of the planets into Aquarius, which will be coming up very soon, like I said, Venus starts out and then Mercury will go direct and get there. Sun will get there just a little before Mercury gets there, or maybe right around the same time. You'll see as we get to Aquarius season, it's going to be much more energy focused on work, focused on autonomy, and that means also focused on entrepreneurship. There is an energy of humanitarianism and environmentalism with this, and community. So instead of trying to always do it yourself, you can do your thing within the collective, within the community, and be supported by others. Saturn, the planet Saturn, and responsibility is in the house of work for you right now, which is the Aquarius house in the sign of Aquarius. And so Saturn is ownership of life purpose and career, which means in Aquarius, it is highlighting entrepreneurship. Being able to be your own boss has been a storyline, especially because it's in the house of work for you. And so this is about really finding your voice in that arena. There is an ending energy as Saturn goes into Pisces. So there may be an ending around that storyline or a shift and change around that storyline. Because as Saturn gets to Pisces, which is March, Saturn goes into Pisces in March, and that creates a different draw towards marriage and partnership and a new creative force, possibly even with a new partner. And it also brings about a fullness and a fulfillment of the storyline from Aquarius, from trying to do your entrepreneurial endeavor. And then there may be a kind of a sunshine moment where you realize that this is where you want to be, this is not where you want to be. The money may come finally from that, because Aquarian energy in the house of work can make money seem really difficult to come in, because Aquarian energy is more altruistic. It doesn't really particularly seek out financial compensation. So while you have Saturn there and have always had Aquarius in that area of your chart, it makes it more difficult to bring in money. But as we go into Pisces, Pisces is an allowing sign. It is a feminine receptive energy, and it is a higher octave of the energy of Venus, which does rule money. So I think with that energy coming in, there may be a broadening opportunity to make more money, especially if you are married or have the energy of a partner coming in. Together, you can really change the dynamic and bring in more money and more financial security. And so as the Sun, Mercury, and Venus go through Aquarius, there is an awareness of the independent notion of going into work. There is the necessity through your mental stimulation of having more alone time, because mentally, Mercury going into Aquarius is going to stimulate you excessively at times. You may feel overwhelmed. You may feel the need to have alone time. And then Pluto moves in March. And so at that point, you're going to have a major shift in how you see yourself and your value in the world, going from the one-on-one connection in the house of romance, which is the fifth house. That's where you're a leader. That's where you're wanting to connect to other people on a one-on-one basis. And then it goes into Aquarius, which is the exact opposite sign of the fifth house. Aquarius rules the 11th house, But in the sixth house, it is a detachment energy in the work environment from the one-on-one, and much more in a focus and an awareness of the collective and how we all work together. And it can mean that you find a new soul group. There may be a coming in shift of people who are there to help you. It is the sign of service and help and helpers. And so there may be a new awareness of people who really do want to support you in March. And then moving on to your house of marriage and partnership, that's the Pisces house, and Saturn moves into Pisces in March, again, bringing an awareness of the desire to strongly be associated with another person and have that person come in. Deep emotional psychic connection is bound to happen there. And if you're looking to get married again, that is the energy, I would say, really accents that opportunity. That happens right around March 20th, I believe. And we'll talk about that more in depth in the extended reading. And if you want to find out more about all the details in your chart throughout the year, the extended reading is where you should go. So the extended reading, you can find the link below and then go over. It's on my Patreon page. You can join Patreon for as little as $1 a month, or even $1 for the extended reading, but you'll have to do that to see it. And I appreciate it because all of the astro energy work that I do for free, and I pay for various things to be able to do that, like SoundCloud. So it really helps. But anyway, you can do that and listen to what's going on more in depth. But superficially, you will get Saturn into the Neptune energy of Pisces come March, and it'll be there continuously. It's not going back into Aquarius at all. It is a full movement into that sign. And then we have Vesta, the asteroid of Vesta is the asteroid of home and hearth. So it's about building a deep psychic connection to someone, a partner, around the home and family. Neptune has been there for quite a while, and I would say like at least 10 years. And so that has been a constant, continuous energy around awakening you to a psychic energy and your own connectivity to a partner, but it can also go over into codependency. So just be aware of that. And finally, Juno at 25 degrees of Pisces is the asteroid of marriage. So I say 2023 is really strong energy around marriage coming in. And if you are married, possibly going out. Juno at n degrees of a marriage house can mean the ending of a marriage. And then right over the cusp into the eighth house is Jupiter in Aries. And you also have Chiron in Aries there. That is joint finances and new beginnings. So Jupiter is expanding an awareness of the commitment within a relationship. And so you can commit to a new partner around sales. That is the arena and theme of Aries. So having Jupiter expand in commitment in the joint connectivity of Scorpio house, which is the eighth house, I definitely see this energy expressing as a new opportunity in business, a new opportunity for sales or growth or self-promotion. And also Chiron is going to bring in the energy of men, and men who could potentially wound you around joint finances some way. It is also humanities. I want to include that because humanities are part of Chiron's venue. When the mythology of Chiron, when Chiron was wounded, Chiron went off and expressed more interest in the humanities and learned that as a way of healing. So sociology, music, beauty, writing, reading, any of the other humanities you can think of, art, painting, things like that. So that can also be a strong time for selling artwork and learning a new instrument or digging deep into the psychology of any of those. Taurus this year is also going to be really strongly represented because Jupiter races through Aries and in May gets to Taurus. Jupiter goes into Taurus May 16th, begins part of the year with Jupiter in Taurus. The first 5 months are going to be Jupiter in Aries again, racing through every single degree. He's at 1 degree right now at the beginning of the year, like he was last year. And he gets to Taurus May 16th, and then it lights up your sector on travel. So from May through the end of the year, strong travel vibes, enjoyment. Venus is beauty and aesthetics. She rules money. This is a strong energy around making money with a person of foreign descent or through traveling to another area far away. So traveling into another country, you might come up with an idea on what you would like to do to earn some extra money or as a career. But mostly Jupiter expands through enjoyment, pleasure, optimism, beauty. Venus is love and money and desire. So it's going to be a really beautiful second half of the year around enjoying the energy of travel. North Node in Taurus is a moment in time of fate or destiny, and it is around money, but again, it's associated with travel or expression or expansion and athleticism. It can be athleticism and music as a career. So if you have an interest in that, comedy is also part of this energy. Uranus at 15 near the North Node. This is a strong shift and change, unexpected change, beauty, expansion. Moon is right near Uranus as well, which is the significator or indicator that something will culminate and happen for you. So I do see that it's going to be a really expansive year around your finances. There will be times of restriction. And again, that will come up during the end of year, month by month extended reading in my Patreon, on my Patreon. And then going into Gemini, as planets transit over your midheaven, that is drawing attention to you within your career. Mars, currently retrograde in Gemini, is the duality of career. And so it's retrograde, which makes it really difficult. It means that you're being taken to task for one or the other of your career choices or a dual choice that you have to make. It is thought, it is communications. So something may come up around your career about how you've expressed yourself, or really taking a chance to decide which way you want to go with that particular career. Anytime there are Gemini transits, you are lit up for something in communications, something in mass appeal around writing, or anything that expresses yourself to the masses. Cancer on the 11th house cusp. This is people who help you in your career. It is money from career. It is soul group and soul tribe. You have Black Moon Lilith and Chiron, not Chiron, Black Moon Lilith and Pallas Athena there. They are both very strong female energies. Black Moon Lilith represents an autonomy around sexual drive or sexual power. And Pallas Athena is the feminine goddess warrior energy, not willing to put up with anything in the home environment that isn't in her best interest. So with the two of these together in Cancer in your house of soul group, it is a strong energy around the home life, the family life, as it represents connection to your career and security. So know that that's coming in as well. And then finally, Leo on the 12th house cusp, a secret understanding of fame and a need for attention in the public eye, in the public spotlight, wanting to connect one-on-one. This is a strong romantic desire behind the scenes. You may have a love partner that isn't necessarily known to the collective, which is also the Scorpio energy behind the scenes of communication. You're not necessarily communicating that love partner or love interest or even a friend to the masses, but Leo rules love, romance, creativity, children. Something's going on behind the scenes with kids potentially as well. But the Leo energy in the 12th house subconscious, there is a psychic awareness to a partner or to a situation with children, or even just having a deep, like universally loving nature towards your children. And with that, I'm going to wrap up. The bell says that, yes, that is in fact true. And I wish you a happy 2023. Please do check out my other podcasts and the link to the extended below. Take care. Have a good 2023.
Hi, this is Shelley. Thank you for joining us this week. To contact me for a private reading, go to angeliczodiac.com under the Readings tab. To purchase my ebook, Learn Astrology, you can find it at angeliczodiac.com. Background music was provided by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com. Be sure to check back next week and subscribe through iTunes at Astro Energy Astrology Show.